Here we have the third video in the We Are Ready series to prep our students for the Istep. This worksheet consists of a number of questions and you do have access to the calculator. So anytime I would use a calculator, I will switch over and use the calculator found on the school website through the Istep 10 online experience. Once again, to get to that, you would go to the school's website. Under Students, Links and Testing, you can find a number of links. You want to click on Practice Istep, which will bring you to this page here that has the different online experiences. You want the grade 10 online experience, and then hit Start button, and it will take you into a Practice Istep test. Now, that practice test consists of 4 questions, which includes your graphing practice, which will allow you to practice graphing lines. Okay, your quadratics, so you have to place the vertex and then any other point on the parabola. Has to be on an exact point, by the way. And an exponential also works. You have to graph 2 different points on the exponential, and it'll draw the line through it for you. Anyway, back up here is the calculator button, which allows you to practice with your calculator. So I have that open, ready to go if we need it. Okay, so a paper company puts papers in stacks so that they can bind them in plastic to be shipped off to retailers. A stack of 150 pieces of paper is 2.5 centimeters thick. How many pieces of paper are in a pile that's 6.5 centimeters thick? Well, this is a fancy way of disguising a proportion. Okay, it's a proportion word problem. Okay, if we take that set of information that I highlighted with pink and we write it as a fraction, 150 pieces of paper is 2.5 centimeters thick. They're asking us how many pieces of paper would be 6.5 centimeters thick. That's a proportion. Okay, so let's leave out the units and let's solve that proportion. 150 is to 2.5 as x is to 6.5. Ladies and gentlemen, you should know that when you have a proportion, you're supposed to cross multiply. So we have 2.5x equals 150 times 6.5. So let's go use our fancy dancy calculator. Okay, 6.5 times 150. So we type in 6.5 with our mouse times 150, enter. That's 975. So we have 2.5x equals 975. And then to solve, we would divide by 2.5. So let's go back to our calculator and divide 975 by 2.5. That's 390. So x is 390, which means our answer is 390 pieces of paper. On to the next problem. Okay, here we are asked to solve. So we have 2 times 5/12 x minus 2 equals negative 4 plus 1/4 x. Now anytime you see parentheses, your opening salvo, your opening move should be to distribute. So you might need to do 2 times 5 over 12 on your calculator. That is easily doable. Okay, 2 times, go into math, okay, hold on a minute, that's not right. Quit that. Okay, so if we go second format, nope, that's not right. I know it's in here somewhere. There it is. Okay. All right. starting again, 2 times, then we hit alpha, F1, up here, this y equals. Notice you have fraction button there, hit 1 to indicate that you want a fraction, 5 over 12. That's going to be the biggest adjustment for us. Our yellow calculators are very nice calculators, and we have to know how to use this emulator to use the same thing. So again, to get the fraction button, you hit alpha, y equals, and then enter. So 2 times 5 over 12 is 5 over 6. Back to our work here. So we have 5 over 6x minus 4, because 2 times 2 is 4, equals negative 4 plus 1/4 x. Now, we have talked extensively in class about how to clear fractions, okay? So step 1, we distributed. Step 2, we are going to clear the fraction. And we're going to do that by multiplying everything by what would be the least common denominator, which for 6 and 4 would be 12. 6 times 4 is 24. That number would work as well, but we really would like to use the smallest number. So we're going to do 12 times 5 over 6x minus 12 times 4 equals 12 times negative 4 plus 12 times 1/4 x. Now again, we can use our calculator here to simplify, okay? So our next step will be we're going to simplify that. And again, we can go and type 12 times 5/6 into the calculator, okay? So that's 12 times alpha y equals, grab that n over d, 5/6, and you'll notice I have too many multiplication symbols, so I'm just going to fix that real quick. Enter, is 10. So that's 10, and my computer's going slow on me, there we go, 10x minus 48, 12 times 4, equals negative 48, plus, and we could go and do 12 times 1/4, 12 times alpha y equals 1, 1, arrow down, 4th, arrow out, enter, is 3. So that's 3x. Now remember, another very important part of the I-step. You are allowed to ask your proctor how to enter something in the calculator, and they are allowed to answer you as long as you have it written down on your scrap paper. So if you're not sure how to answer, how to put something in the calculator, write down what you're trying to do on your scrap paper, raise your hand, and the proctor, either myself, Ms. Duran, Mrs. Murley, or Ms. McKay, will help you put it in the calculator. Okay, now we're going to solve that for x, okay? Which we do by moving the numbers to one side, which would be adding 48 to each side, and moving the x's to the other side by subtracting 3x from each side. Now I know what you're thinking, but doesn't this cancel as well? Technically, yes, it does. 10x minus 3x is 7x. Negative 48 plus 48 is 0. And a lot of kids get stuck here, but you really shouldn't, okay? You're going to solve for x, you're going to divide by 7. 0 divided by 7 is still 0. So the answer is x equals 0. Okay, the final question here, we're not really going to have much use for our calculator. Change this equation into each of the following forms. They give us the equation negative 6y is 5x minus 18. They ask us to turn that into slope-intercept form. Remember that slope-intercept form, by the way, this is actually one of the things that's on your reference sheet. So let's look there. We got the reference sheet pulled up too. Slope-intercept form is, move the camera out of the way here, y equals mx plus b. So we can go get that, and we can put that where we need it. Okay, it's on the reference sheet. It's y equals mx plus b. Okay, so we're already almost there. It's in the right format. Negative 6y equals 5x minus 18. The problem is the negative 6. It can't be there. So we need to divide every term by negative 6, which would give us y equals negative 5/6 x plus 3. That is in slope-intercept form. And then we have standard form, which is also listed on the reference sheet. However, it doesn't tell you on the reference sheet what the heck any of the words on the reference sheet mean. Okay, it's right down here. Okay, standard form of a linear equation is ax plus by equals c. But you have to know what that means. So, we've got that. I mean, we have it, but if you don't know what ax, by, and c are, then you're screwed. Okay? The reason they're capital letters is a, b, and c must be integers. In other words, they can't be fractions or decimals. Okay? And a must be positive. That's 2 of the 3 rules. The third rule is you can't have any common factors between all 3. So if they were all divisible by 2, you would have to divide them all by 2. So if you look at the equation right now, we have negative 6y is 5x minus 18. X is positive, so that means we need to move the y term by adding 6y to each side, and the 18 by adding 18 to each side. So that would change the equation into 18 equals 5x plus 6y. That's almost in standard form. We just need to switch the left and the right sides. So 5x plus 6y is equal to 18 would be standard form. That does it for video 3. I really hope you're using these. I hope you find them useful. I believe in you. You can defeat the I-step. See you at video 4.